What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today is an exciting day. This is the first video in my new series, the Complete Streamer Roadmap, right? And this is going to be episode 1 to this series. The title of this video is Should You Even Become a Streamer in 2026? And that is what we're going to break down here. Now, if you've already made up your mind and you do want to become a streamer in 2026 and you want to set out on this journey and grow and build a community and potentially earn some extra income on the side, then this video is definitely going to be for you. The entire series is going to be for you. But if you do want to become a streamer, you do know how important it is to stand out in the sea of millions of people who want to become streamers nowadays. So if that's you and you want to help your stream pop and stand out amongst the rest, you guys got to check out the sponsor for today's video, Owned.tv. Owned.tv is your one-stop shop for fresh new graphics for your stream. Whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, or Kick, you'll find something that's a perfect fit for your channel. They offer full themed overlay packages, which are great if you're trying to give your stream a complete makeover, but let's say you're looking to pick up some new alert graphics, don't worry, because they've got you covered there too. You could find single graphics such as alerts, emotes, banners, panels, and logos as well. And one of the best parts about these overlays is that they are completely modular. So if you and your friends all pick up the same overlay, such as this Rodan one right here, you could change the colors and tweak it to match your brand, and none of you will have the exact same overlay. If you're looking to take your stream to the next level, be sure to check out Own.tv using my link below to support the channel. And don't forget, use code HAMMER at checkout for an additional 50% off your order. Now, back to the video. Now, I've written down quite a few things for this entire series, right? This is like a 10+ episode series, talking about the Complete Streamer Roadmap if you want to become a streamer. And again, in this video, the first one, we're focusing on should you even become a streamer in 2026. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown of how it kind of works, and then you could sit there and determine whether it's right for you, because to be completely honest, it's not for everybody. And really what it boils down to is you're no longer able to just sit around and play games and go live and grow as a streamer. That doesn't exist. It hasn't existed actually for the last like 6 years. And it's only gotten even worse. So the first thing I want to talk about, right, one of the core topics here is the reality of streaming in 2026, okay? This is going to be like, the reality of streaming in 2026 is that it's extremely oversaturated, right? There is great opportunity still there, and people can definitely still grow and build communities and kind of create like almost say a hobby that becomes a little bit of an extra income for yourself. Like that is possible, right? There is oversaturation, but there's definitely still opportunity. The thing is, to become a streamer in 2026, it takes a lot more than it did 10 years ago in 2016, okay? Nowadays, you have, like I said in the beginning of this video, millions of people trying to become streamers, right? There's so many people doing it. And the only way you really grow nowadays is by actually posting content on, other platforms, YouTube, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, things like that. You need to be kind of, posting content a lot more than you actually are streaming. And then funneling those people over to your stream, right? So the reason why, like, I'm gonna have a whole video on like how to actually grow. That's not what this one is. Again, this is, should you even become a streamer? We're gonna go over all of like the basics of what it takes. The next thing I want to talk about though is, in knowing that, I'm gonna explain to you guys why most people fail and why it's okay, right? Like I said, this is not for everybody. And why I think most people fail at becoming streamers is because they don't completely understand, again, what goes into becoming a streamer nowadays, right? If you go back 10 years, even further than that, and, you look at like the older streamers who have always been big, Summit, Ninja, all these people, it was a different time, right? They were kind of in this like golden era, the gold rush period of streaming where it was really just blowing up, and they were good streamers, they were good entertainers, and they got, caught up in that wind and brought up with streaming and how much more popular it's become in the last like 10 years. And the reason why most people fail is because people try to replicate that same thing that those streamers did. People come home from work or come home from school and they sit in front of their computer like this, they put their headphones on and they just play games with their friends on Discord and they hit go live. The reality of it is that is not how you grow anymore. No one's finding your stream. Nobody really cares about who you are, as harsh as that sounds, because there's millions of people doing that exact same thing. So people get discouraged and then they fail. They'll do it for 6 months or a year to 1 or 2 viewers. One of them is, you know, their mom or their dad or their girlfriend or whatever, and then they get discouraged and they just stop. You know, and one of the most important things when trying to become a content creator, whether it's a streamer or a YouTuber or both, is consistency. So that discouragement then makes you stop, which makes you now not consistent. You'll start again in 2 months when you get another burst of energy and want to do it, but you haven't been consistent. So anything that you were potentially growing is now in the trash and you lost all of it. That is why most people fail. Most people fail because they underestimate how much work actually goes into being a streamer. It's a lot more work than sitting down and playing games. And I'd actually argue that sitting down and playing games is the least amount of time you're going to have to spend doing stuff to become a streamer. Once you're bigger and you have an audience and you have all these people that like to watch you no matter what you're doing, yeah, you'll have a lot more time to sit down and just play games and go live. But in the beginning, I would say that sitting down, playing games and going live is like literally 30% or less of the effort you have to put into becoming a streamer. You're going to have to be posting, you're going to be making content, going live with a plan, a well thought out title, and all these things. Okay, so it's definitely different than that. But that doesn't really need to discourage you because there's multiple different ways to be a streamer, right? You can be a streamer as just a hobby. You can be a streamer trying to grow a long-term brand and community like I've done. You can just do it as a little side hustle and really not care if it grows or not. Like the hobby and side hustle thing are like kind of go hand in hand. If you don't really care if it ever grows and you're just playing games anyway and you might as well go live, go for it. But if you're trying to build that long-term brand, you're trying to build a community, you're trying to make an actual income out of it, you do need to put in a lot more work. So keep that in mind when thinking about, you know, do I want to be a streamer? There's multiple ways to approach it, which definitely changes the difficulty level of, you know, how it's going to be to grow. You know, and if you're one of those people who, again, wants to do it as a hobby or just maybe as a side hustle and you don't really care if it grows, that's great. You could just go live and play games. But if you're someone who wants to build that long-term brand and build that community and build like a, you know, a platform, that's going to, you know, require a mindset shift. You're going to, you know, instead of thinking I'm just going to go live, you have to be like, I'm going to go live with a plan. I need a catchy title. I need a, you know, a challenge that I'm doing on stream. I need ways to bring people into my stream. This is no longer doing it as a hobby. You are now doing it to kind of build a community, build a platform for yourself, building your brand, right? So if you're thinking more long-term, this is what you're going to want to do. Again, if you're someone who just plays games and you want to do it as a hobby, just go live and do what you got to do. You know, there's tons of like AI services now that can pull shorts and clips from your stream, post those on YouTube and TikTok and stuff. You'll get viewers here and there. But if you really want to go live with a plan to build something for the future, then you have to think about it completely different. And that's basically what this entire series is going to be for you guys. Again, this is only episode 1. They're going to be short, quick, 10-minute episodes, probably once a week. And that's what we're going to break down in this whole series on how to actually do it long-term, how to grow your brand, how to do it the right way, how to think up crafty titles, what you should be doing on your stream, how you should be communicating with your community. It's going to be all of those things. But I do have some really good news. Like, if you are thinking the long-term way and you want to build this community and you want to be like an actual streamer, not just as like a, you know, a hobby, you know, 2026 is definitely one of the best times to start. And that is because of the oversaturation. Now, let me explain. Now, the fact that everything is so oversaturated is a bad thing for discoverability, but it's a good thing for people who do want to stand out, right? Now, if you take a different approach, if you're not just approaching streaming, just sitting down, going live, playing games with your friends on Discord, and you take the other path of, I'm going to go live with a plan, I'm going to go live with a challenge, I'm going to go live with something really entertaining, I'm not going to just sit in game as if I was doing it off stream. You know, you have a plan. Okay, during the stream, while I'm playing this game, you know, you're doing things to generate really good clips for TikTok, YouTube, Shorts, Twitter, all that stuff. If you're going live with that mentality, completely changes everything. So, you know, there's multiple ways to approach becoming a streamer. And again, this video is all about, you know, explaining that to you guys and, you know, making you think, should I even become a streamer in 2026? And if you do want to still become a streamer, whether it's the hobby streamer, the side hustle streamer, the long-term community building streamer, you know, then subscribe to the channel, like the video if it helped you out, and just wait for episode 2. Episode 2 is going to come out soon. And this is going to be talking all about the platforms, where you should be streaming, how you should be streaming, all the myths that are, you know, around the internet involved around platform choice and all this stuff. I'm going to break down all of that for you guys in episode 2. So Subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications if you don't want to miss the next time I post a video. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/hammerdance. I stream Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And anyways, guys, that's all I've got for you. So look out for episode 2. It's going to be coming next week. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.